Blackstars asem na ne kan edin ne Worldcup yi mu nsensem okay ebenya kura nke mfanto ne kan asem foforo na sa di besi ani
o ya no no penti
o ye kan obi anti zo nya de sesa beba so tem ya se Worldcup yi uni ma de ba kwa boye MZ experience kakra government we nya ye ne se nsentrofo na northern na enuanom so nkyerofo so mo ko US bi mu a ensema course no tutu o maka o ma no atum so mo nyina na mo maka aba o maka ho so ye do mase o mo nto abrabo no so ho ene ye koyenim tutu ye ya ba ba ye nsentrofo ya ba ba ye the biggest problem to how a football ne besesa hwe ade ba kwa ye hwe ne say yes minim say life there be ma border betia do point bi na bi kura mentia ana wontia wo ye nsentwuro ni bi na wo ye adwuma foforo ade chiemu nsem there you can have your plans ebia in the next 5 years bizo to so be so tu ko tena Sweden na okobo ne bra wo Sweden ti bi opportunity bi ba na wo hwe na se woni mo bi a o fa me hyem na akoto abra boss wo Sweden na se yanko Sweden bi ma bizo to be de na akọ Sweden hwe ba bi anwoma keka ko no se nyameye adom na yenya Worldcup ba ku mienu bi kwa enjese be qualify to us the next 10 years o another the next 20 years se yan sesan nyoma Worldcup na yekoye no be maboda near one of the worst performing countries at the Worldcup ye camp Worldcup teams na ko bo Worldcup ni nyina ope country ba kwa na ne camp in discipline wo ho Ghana Ghana ne more match ni asesa anyum to for kogu ye camp ni the video ba bonten omo bonyum na Blackstars players esa concentration krani ho and we have leaders anomo to omo entertain nyoma we nyina ye won panyifo amzo to mu di team na chi a omo nyina akọ no omafo asa ade we so na akọ Blackstars camp it's like here call for fanfare ya anko to compete at the World Cup enyoma akoso wo USA no bizoto enyoma ketwa maye nkata so medie da bia meka say you can say F no and you be private company ko fo bi na akom ho bom no makobie but at some point eno meka sa dey wa how many times na F ni call for government support so if you say wa dwuma no wakobie na mo ya o fra ban sa ban me yode because by no nyon one edin sika the Ghana for sika to the moment you call the government so government Mwameboa no e kire se Ghana for interest wo
FM 100
say yan hweye na me to yan protect your football na e bedu time bi yen ko US biem na yen sentwoni aso akokoto abrabo so other countries afu se wo ko abetia akobo brand yen ko biem. When it comes to our football, we are in our worst moment as a country. Ada ne empese be kan okra kire yen. Etime Owura Kofi Adams, be ma boda. Ne nsem no keka no. Sometimes me huna anamitie bia na emesere. It's like obi a wonim de worker. One, yes minister we selections. Na minister yes selection na yede. The minister yes selection na yede. Yada yento omem ha yenyi players how many times yenyi ye ball Cup of Nation 208 asa moja nso omobiem no o ka se eja ma coach ni kwa ko be ma asa moja be shetim nim ba so man panyini ko for friends so anko tournament no kwasi apia coach Blackstars a so drop de da you ene de da you o man panyini ma ha man frɛ no ya fa de no onwi anko Jubilee House a good point bia mizoto when you occupy a higher position also representing the pebi minister no call US no or representing Ghana for it's a coach ni nye bibi na nya minister no every right to question the coach minister or every right mizoto say coach ni bibi na nya obe question no na de nya minister ya kakara screws na dey call Worldcup say go to ad na dey be call enya minister when they insist here after Ghana and Germany game say on primo to adon tena ho because to adon timi nyare enye selection ni bi no it is a the positive impact ebe bra ye born na ada na say how but yaba be drew pointer or the minister adwuma na aba form kakra
100.7
so or the minister adwuma na aba form kasa na ya do so chen adwuma no kasa no e ya do so chen adwuma no and one way na resafo be beka no because ni nsem kayem na Ghana eko Worldcup na minister be ka kire Ghana fo nyina say yesu betin age Worldcup ni bi unimade pefese enyi unimade pefese enyi yi no no aba no aba beka enti owura Kofi Adams de be ma boda se ye ka se ye de ne tena ho ne aka na asem a I think one so to ontene kasa so kakra because last time I can or turn into a communication director for the FE. You won't go for so FE no for more mutual. Who your minister? Who? He call Worldcup, Bema Boda. And your man uncle ye, I feel now better than see him how it be changes. But oh my God, no. You better can't bear 1 month. You better start to qualify no be a refi. Now for you back to square one. Until Blackstars and says some there. Mr. Two. Say Blackstars na kwaya avenue ko Worldcup amanfo die anameboa. One anyway. You say you choose Worldcup and Worldcup ne kono ye the change how we even develop our football. I say na me fa the manifesto of the FA president. Na Mr. Two me go through. Na me go through no. Na me hear FA president say so 7 years I was spending as FA president. So no other sorry pa na ofa the manifesto na to okan ma bibia no say convincing is so sako 13 bi because nyoma wo ka so be ye no be ma boda any dey why no emfa
100.7
edu time bi na nyoma nkoyi a so to ense wo calling a day hwe why na da dwene ho da say be do point bi Ghana under 17 qualifying ko World Cup. One that you know who that say Ghana under 20 e be do be bien qualifying for World Cup under this administration in see Bema boda can crow Cup of Nation qualify say aye be boy say you see e be for one country from every group you need Cote d'Ivoire 2 years sure say be qualify ahead of Cote d'Ivoire adena de bia ye hwe ni mani
board dem fan
o say
board dey say
oh say wo ma obenya lag ba ko bi but o kan okure na ewo mu na be ma boda say wo and the Ghana ya back to the extent say Cup of Nation yen qualify o but na Cup of Nation dia da bia ye bodi ya Ghana wo ho but the last Cup of Nation ye ni ho eti ya ye fa ne say e na World Cup e be do stage ni yen ko World Cup biem si anya ye nyoma ya e ho na media me fu say government investment omo ye nyina ka wan panyini ba ye otu din research ni ade ba ko so ehia research ye no ma ye do football so to ye football ye hia research papa eso man panyini Mahamud na ni ko ho sometimes ebia decisions ni head but you need to take it to save the future ye ntimi nko mada bia na ba ma boda akoye te say yakọ tournament ni yakọ fanfare ya ba ye ni age adaye di nipa kwa amanfo ko to mabrabo so na adaye do ba se be ye fi president amanfo tu kanom ko to mabrabo so ehon no me de be fa dia be maboda owie ne career. Yes, he's one of the great players at football and nobody Mr. Two can take Ronaldo out from the great players at football. By the greatest there, he's not there and may assure say onwa after no elimination when he sit down now we share nyoma wa achieve not to compare how our downplay other players for achievement he will accept it
before his era.
There's that kind even Kukuruku F5 America before his era Portugal had only qualified for 3 World Cups 66 86 2002 oh it's with him they have won 3 trophies argument no so
and trophies yet say obia wo ni ruwa wo play but say akọ classroom teacher ni agina wo kira de by we would do first
yeah
e chese do the first na modern boy dey aside say your class ayi nyina ni wo class so tell me china say it your influence no be ma boy e kokko duru ba bi nobody is taking his greatness away. But what I'm trying to say is how our done play amount for success.
You got another one. Since that's not.
The other side of the story and interesting. Garcia. I do a Belgian national team against USA. Once a game and surrounded himself with a lot of controversies after a Balogun issue, no record FIFA forces sans after the beating about game. Now may catch us say sometimes you coach you need to take bold decisions. Say Oko Belgium, the two they worship Lukaku, they worship Kevin De Bruyne. Okay. We a coach now Oko tournament. These are huge players. Dropping them, but it drew baby. You think about team success more than what those players normally achieve, especially some who call the end of their career. When they name the De Bruyne, when they name the Lukaku with the Belgian national team. But Emra, so what's your Belgium the US game Libya? Belgium best game of the tournament almost started without these players. Even Jeremy Doku. Clearly, rules and the concentration of tournament in this war from. Oh, you're both starting from bench. Obia or doubt to Belgium, even in the group stage, because I'm giving any exciting. Belgium are recently more various tournaments. This was one of their weakest side, based on how more performance in the group stage. But I'm not a Belgium team. No. Sometimes. These are some of the decisions they do point basically to be taken. And for any player and what he has achieved in the past. If present in Mr. Tumpempe, on team mount, and I say on team compete at tournament now, find a way to bench him and get results. And not a Belgium for a year and to host nation USA. Because the US from the group stage, ever the run of 32. Countries no mabobo pan na US count. But Enra Belgium reduced to a side asset. Almost deserve to even be part of the round of 16. And the game Sibaso. It was the first game. Argentina and Egypt. Obia or share Argentina and Cape Verde Biano. It raises questions about the Argentine team. Ubet you have free angles be pre. But this is my little experience when it comes to World Cup. Once you go World Cup, yes, your favorite. Yes, we move betimi age. It start from somewhere. So who so be a World Cup film. Remember to obo 3 matches to aso. Na ne modern boy chese tournament no ntimi mo. But obia wabo World Cup bia either we finalist and now you the winner of the competition. You one gamer be my brother e be ba be test you. And we be closer to elimination. Makes me a series of examples. Like 1990. A man for crying himself Cameroon will share Argentina one day no. Be my brother the 9 players na share omo. Cameroon the 9 players and they share Argentina. Okay, US 94. Italy before the final. Italy against Norway. Italy against Ireland. Italy against Mexico. Italy against Nigeria. It's before group stage now they had test. What the knockout stage are? They were on the verge of elimination. And it took Roberto Baggio and the qualities no one. A champ player via no Gina Park to save Italy to the next round. Brazil cross J Cup no. Koshe Brazil in Sweden. Yanko 98. France are winning World Cup no. France against Paraguay. France against Croatia. Against Croatia. With just some few minutes, Croatia was on the verge of playing their first World Cup final. And Liran Turan Beshe 2 goals. Emma France we need 2 and the Copa final. 2002 Brazil. Brazil against Turkey. 2006. Italy was on the verge of elimination against Australia. Asana Francesco Totti, Eko Bossa Panatina Fabio Grosso in their tournament. Oko 2010, Spain, their first game on board at the tournament, was it against Switzerland? Even Spain against Paraguay. 2014, over Germany, over Argentina. Argentina against Switzerland. Germany against Algeria. 2018, France budget a World Cup no. to France ni Belgium. It was a night as a game yes after France for so mebo bian komaka so mo. Then 2022 Argentina na ye come asem ni to ko mu game against Australia. And the favorites of the competition yet they are at one moment either in the group stage or the knockout stage. You have one game a better so. Okay. And on a better test Argentina against Cape Verde. Yeah. Then a back to coaching. So what Argentina and Cape Verde nibia? Cape Verde for exploit Argentina for weakness. And they say Argentina no more matches in the tournament without a proper number 6. Because the favorite for that position was not 100% fit in Leandro Paredes. It almost started McAllister as their number 6. McAllister defensively is weak. I did about Leonel Scaloni since so far Argentina national team say. So when you're a bad gamer, Bema Boda, ultimately finding a way to fine tune the Argentine national team. No more move quickly from their bad game to an A game. My follow Omo Yinikaka. Now it looks like the two Paredes will start the game. Obeko with a midfield 4. Paredes, McAllister, Enzo Fernandez, and Rodrigo De Paul. Then the back 4. If Molina is fit, Molina will play as right back. Tagliafico as left back. Christian Romero and Martinez as the 2 center backs. Then the front 2, Julian Alvarez and Lionel Messi. So we have a lineup where Faco 2022 Argentina Croatia. Apart from Otamendi, because that game Momo Mixi Di Maria. Apart from Otamendi, this was in the lineup of Yusu against Croatia team no. And the moment Obe Yusu sa lineup no, we team who operated from the midfield because Croatia at that World Cup their strength was their midfield. Maybe no more Kovacic, maybe no more Luka Modric. It's Argentina overcrowded their midfield, and that was Argentina best game at the tournament. Omishe Croatia 3-0. Because in their midfield they have runners who can run and chase country no more bono players no mutimi hold bono. 1 Rodrigo De Paul, 2 Enzo Fernandez, and the McAllister the free roll to just sit in to like the playmaker of the team, and they say invited Lionel Messi to join the midfield and start distributing ball no said the better other players will be free. One thing they say it was all Argentina against Cape Verde. Now I enjoy Argentina team now. They will play their most easiest match of the World Cup and now against Egypt. Based on Cesar lineup and Abema Boado Moboboa. The back 4 now Macano. Tagliafico as left back, Molina as right back, Martinez, Christian Romero as 2 center backs. A midfield 4 of Rodrigo De Paul, Leandro Paredes, Enzo Fernandez, Alexis McAllister, and the front 2 of Lionel Messi and then Julian Alvarez. I won't be surprised. Sebema Boada, and then you make game no. Ebetimianya Argentina and Croatia score line no. At the 2022 World Cup. Which was 3-0.
Argentina Egypt.
Yeah. It can even be more.
No.
It can even be more. Okay. With this, so I am a lineup ni say ya. Eliminate Lionel Messi from defensive duties into concentrating more on attacking duties. It took Argentina and Croatia game now. How he had the freedom because defensively because they have a lot of men in the middle. And now whenever the na bema boda ekofa asem eba ye no. Nti one gamer I think a very difficult for Egypt to surprise Argentina based on how I follow Argentina to my lineup on beso de bono. Nti be Argentina 3 Egypt 0. One game I don't want to make say Switzerland and Colombia. One country bema boda it looks like World Cup ni show mu yi and they say we mu biem Colombia. So for the last 3 years in South America, I even think based on their development, Omaya there a chain Brazil. They say the Uruguay there after Carlos Tevez more Cavani more Zotomu fade out no. You Uruguay national team ni biem. Into Uruguay and Uruguay now you home recently no. Brazil so no they have been struggling. But over Colombia, bema boda. Omodru period the Omo Messi country war history. Say Colombia, it is Argentina. Colombia, it is Uruguay. and a waji Worldcup bida anka the history will lead this generation I'm to Toma Bibi Switzerland omo very good but looking at this Colombian team Bema Boda it makes it very difficult for Switzerland in the game nti Colombia Sunni Switzerland game no mbebo no Bema Boda I won't be surprised enye me nwanwa see we game no na Colombia ashimienu ama Switzerland atimu baako 3-0 3 for Argentina 0 for Egypt 2 for Colombia and 1 for Switzerland yeah
Captain na so be ka do that thing ti ana say me na back for man in Mafia
sometimes I think we German ko ye normal postal charge
you be in the
what does it
Babo when the boxer throws in the towel
okay
it just say on you ready
so you can use west be able to use that's west and then west
now is the towel and there too
I me say
but the way what does it
Sweet the bad them
I think you let go and I've decided
and also
after OTA
oh you speaking for me now why
one after the other I'm saying I got to also on Gary
sometimes let something go
yeah
no more protect agent
okay Babo you feel no you feel
solo blana engene fast na
FIFA
it is Carlos Queiroz who selected the players for the Blackstars. It's his job and the FA to do the selection, not me. That is why he is paid. So as the media, it's your duty to let people know this. Honorable Kofi Adams criticized the media for saying he selected players for the Blackstars. Tama, I'm saying they're not you
young man.
Into voice. Okay, and I mean, the video you saw was about clearance of unwanted weeds. Those you see working on the natural pitch, not artificial one. We are doing this so that by the time the league commences, the pitch will be ready and green. National Sports Authority spokesperson Pat explains.
Plana ehia omo ya adwuma wo so a omunim se de sifa etutu na ya na e de omo ya nti enye ne bone so se staff ejina page ni so e clear page no eti e besremo etifo se mu video ya e kire se ye clear unwanted weeds abefra good ones no o say natural grass nti maintenance ni e different from artificial grass. It is a unwanted ways in nyina esesi yeyi ni nyina free so yeyi free so we are ye tunu from the roots ase ye tu we are na ye dua ye besa ye top dressing it efifi no na efele up efifi no na efele up it eno na muhu nye ne bone so na ni ye yo nti said ye be ya resume league no na pitch no afane ntoma pa efra pitch ni ye kama nye ni green keke nko a ahodi gbom
Tama so he emaya omote baba ya rani enti oso wutututu de enye no na afi omodua papa no na enu se league no start no na yesi bia pitch no be green keke ne mu no ebe ye kama enti visa yanko back to Honorable Kofi Adams or say on selected players a coach no any GF na ye
Are you suggesting that your minister for sports will be the one to select players for the Blackstars? When people tell you things that you know it should not be, you have a duty to help them also, because they have a right possibly to think that way. But you have a duty to let them know that the work of a minister is not to, a minister is to work with the FA to appoint a coach who has a responsibility to make sure he selects the players. That's why he's paid. That's why we have the FA there. That's why we have a coach. If we want the minister to select the players, then there should be no coach again. So the minister will select the players, and we don't have to pay a coach to do that.
No minister on selected player bia your coach ayafana yituaneka enti no mo bia mfa selection ho sa ankoya mo bia mfa machine minister no enti tietia central force bank for ka mo nchichiri mu ye nchire wo mo na mo hu say ono minister on selected player bia. Age has affected most of our players. We must stop the football age thing and be sincere with ourselves because it is affecting us. Age must be taken seriously in our football. When the player has reached his appropriate age, he must make way for younger ones to take over. Dr. Nyaho Tamakro. Tamamewi say nkofo nyina obi nyina wanyini. Say nipa no nyina wanyini. On fish honomo na young ones na amamebo. Na nya say football football age. So we nyina wanyini. Titia. That one patch me dey see.
I've got to enjoy.
This minister selecting players, we need the background, but then is somebody accusing the minister not on a player selection now, or Worldcup now, not only influence the coach now. If that's the case, I'm I'll beg to differ. I think the Ghana for the into situation now I try to address it. Then they are portion blames at the Amanipoli. So if there's one World Cup, I'm free say the organization preparation need to be we have a lot to say about it. It should be this World Cup. It should be this World Cup. Because what I'm saying is this is a government and the minister. I say it's a government. One problem with a previous World Cup in 2014 Brazil experience now, it was massive. So the government made conscious effort to make sure so to be less problems as far as this World Cup is concerned. And I want to say so to devoid of political affiliation, Ghanaians were attest to that fact to say this World Cup Enema was much more smoother than a lot, including the 2014 year. But World Cup
0.7.
But over in say the minister no update and all day man any all the things of course what to Ghana for at least you appreciate one thing. Now you try to forge forward. Maybe they don't know say yes you are amfa me dey be make say we stayed in this World Cup because of the coach. Coach had the call, you know. So to on ne ma Ghana, at least you believe class say you World Cup no bit ma. Say you free ma, you mention you say that President can say future is brighter no America no. Say the future has always been bright, but yet you be competition is gloomy. So let's take the bull by the horn. They making sure say you better near my because World Cup is the biggest football festival. So you learn a lot of things. Why is it that a very of about 500,000 population attracted where to be able in some what do they do? Why is it that Morocco actually say the African flag normally hosted to the extent that in Morocco shutting beer was through? And then no more. So you pick the right examples. Now also baby. But then there be a talk shop. You call competition bar. You perceive be a fine will be by the scapegoat. Near the pan ye trouble. Yeah, you can't be fast anymore.
Okay.
So a lot of things happen on me in my own small way. Information but sometimes you have to keep it. Even at the Blackstars camp, people are learning a lot of things of course. so but say man ko na move say at least yemma me Blackstars ni ye na yentime football because Ghana no nyame am potential but so to have to nature it has always been the problem and I want yourself for bebre wa do nimdia for bebre but yet we are doing little Sunday morning say move away from that so to yes so Saturday akoso yes sir so I want to believe say Kofi Adams as a minister so to me need connection bia but me happy with how he conducted himself, how things were done. At least, so we compare way out to that 2014, the same government and another honor, the same president, so to almost score higher marks as far as this Worldcup because don't forget from that 2014, 2018, 2022, no, so to Worldcup we are calling more chance yes now. Group stage you free mu. Obeka san highway to FIFA for you know. I'm far one of 32, but that is the situation. They all know. To say, qualify for round of 16, and can be a it says a round of 32, they all know. I just say you move away from a group stage. The last 3 were according to Kobe. 2 were in a group stage, and a free mobile. When better than them. Let's go on the good side of it.
Correct for all the points. Thank you.
Oh, no, Bahana come and share. Sports authority again, Kakra. I'm a Kakra. I'm saying, sometimes people don't. But some people don't understand the area. The way I buy say, Obeko Penchich, Moon dance. Audience say, who had the opportunity of going to social media, Robeko to Zonwaka, as some negative against that. And I'm happy the authority, out through MPRO, said the first of your money. So there are a lot of things here our park, especially the natural grass, and sana. I already and when there are foreign materials, to say any grass will be bad. So there's a quite more fast one up to Sani Mano. It's good. Sometimes we are quite too much as well. Never go for speculative falsehood. Never say one thing. But once our member out, I bet you say no. The Obia Ocho or the Pabiano, and omo PRO part as my worker. Now for no yes and no the omoye and yet the grofobidi call a cancer
Obi
or be out of Pabia. That opportunity given to them.
Why Yamana norm say a free tournament may be there are some people noted for young cancer na young cancer just some no untiase new don't see the head and the tail untiase that's why I don't think that tamakulu eke so too untie some na unhuni tinhuni na unhuni ne untiase ni ipacho Worldcup ayebu Emra Ahumachi yehwe Belgium ne USA no Tibo go to only 34 years Trossard only 31 years omo from Belgium USA omo ka ebo na team Rim 38 years was he not starting for has he not been starting for USA Hurricane is not 32 Messi so 30 is saying 39 sometimes minimum why she said Casemiro nkona mboma inene Brazil no Marquinhos 35 or so Marquinhos Casemiro or saying eti yen team you know how many old players the only constant player or track 30 or start here the Blackstars team no the only player on the or at least or starting all games now or above 30 Jordan are you and actually there is 32 they say you also or starting only 2 games. And the for your team nimpo and I say it's like doctors don't follow the Blackstars on new team no I said normal to say what is your corner year film to know on the cancel so I say on new team no he doesn't understand the dynamics of the team currently and the on nimpo say team no you nimpo for team no I say nimpo for team this team is a young team some players are on the bench. Doctor, And you see, these are things that I can say, the one interviewing should have fronted him. Say, oh, Doctor, when you're young painful team and Kolani, and young painful for him to know, say, he's wrong with what he's saying. How can only one player above 30 is starting the team be in Kokoro for team, being for team? And sometimes, you see, they should understand, say, football, things have changed from his time. And now, you see, one thing I'm going to say, Ghana, and I said before, we don't accept time and as a change. Say, Mrasa, Doctor, Mrasa, things have changed, moved away from what you used to understand and know. And yet, you find who takes a black at a few more and I'm paying for. No, if not even question their ages and see how young they are. It is not yes, no. I am now moving out with the feet of the Diana and some Gicano. The Diana Yabdos do us and some inconvenience to create unnecessary discussion around and away and away and a money and away. There be more and more discussion in Konkai. Honorable Minister
100.7.
Luto, my Google, my research, my search that I wanted to see one person who said anywhere say why selection of Blackstars. Many some before so what's the city of Abomia because me dem search ahead of so Abomia bia when you coach bia obi anywhere saying say minister no or selection of Blackstars. As a minister, you ask yourself your own questions and answer it. Minister, the most important thing is you ask your own question and you are not answering it. Obia, nobody has accused you of anything in terms of selection. Who in this country doesn't know say minister in your selection? If Obia case I say we have to go and check his mental and he said okay, because how can someone ever say minister in your selection my Blackstars? At best, at you West every person on Monday. Because I think on our direct relationship with anything and if anything the FA for no and I say the coaching staff no it is something that we have to set the record straight. You know, minister enyama you interested you see this is the lowest level I've seen any minister could turn into any tournament, the lowest I've ever seen. Minister, you want to turn yourself into PRO for the DFA. Meanwhile, but in our history, the honorable minister, I don't know as a PRO, and at the level be, he was the one telling us who is fit and who is not fit. Who told me we are seeing
100.7.
even PR we are even telling him say any to tell us team news because I also heard it no time and gone past him and now to tell us team news. That is why the coach your press conference that area no and the to let the world know say me team no when you fit when you available et me heard in impono and the juma afedi akwa kra so am afedi minister mwa ana ne PRO and o cheche team sheet na ye ko Worldcup nso to hwade o Ghana o captain Jordan o coach Vincent Carlos Cruz o FA president Keto Kreku o man ka mo ka kwaje Worldcup ana so mo ka ko Worldcup final these guys an ka so mo ka kwaje Worldcup wa ko Worldcup final then the minister who is far away from the team in terms of ball or park and so no. He is so confident to tell us say you can't watch the Worldcup.
Or inspire hope.
Oh bro, why you
say Kwakwaje Worldcup. Me so say na minister he didn't mean say Ghana win the World Cup. But only this Sunday no catch it so just as we are playing everybody we can also win the World Cup.
You can also win the World Cup. You see? Uti.
Na the World Cup yes you baby.
Na be you be saying to me. So one no get me here. I don't know all the government in rotate after the 3 games.
Oh usually sana yo mo yen. That's been the standard.
I said because you know say you can win it. On man am what you work up no. Only three matches be o. Now Germany every me. Who here I am here because they buy and final.
0.7.
Because all for no. They are preparing that you what you work up. Spain crack or to final because of what you work up. Brazil or Nigeria what you work up. Argentina almost what you work up. But who they because you know say won't mean Argentina and little all the workouts will go here. Okay, 3 matches pay. A team minister, you see, Ubaya no na you GD power because of the training that Unyaye. Also in the background, it's a rolling trained boy. But Ubaya no, Oma I say me say from pa. I just say from me say from pa because he's not living up to the
Zach, that's it. Thank you, Jibo.
Person. If you have a training from wrong, you should be fair. My way on your fame.
Mati, that's it. You
last time asem na ne kan edin ne Worldcup yi mun sensem okay ebenya kura nke mfanto ne
GFA and the coach select players and not me the minister. Honorable Kofi Adams criticize the media. Tama honorable say enkofo ebubodin say ono na all select players but say enu na coach no ho no enti ono na
ya gazo select players
o say enkofo say minister
obi aka sawa say minister and select players asema o jama me dem TV there say minister select players no only players no
o say yetise enkofo kasa yes entrofo no asudie ene asede
GF in enkofo kasa from not me. Nti man mfa
so what TV senkofo eka
so no
se wono an nti se ba ne sada se yeti senkofo ka yen sentrofo no ye juma ya se de ne asudie se be ka che o man se wono minister ne de on select players
on be obi adwuma
do yen se o kire oboa ma ye pe coach na on select players nti ye ba voice no ye be bona amafo TV na che se enwu nchechire mususo etimi aba. The video you saw was about clearance of unwanted weeds. Tawon say enona pictures ni video viral. Efa Accra Kumasi Stadium National NSA4 na almost say pictures ni videos na yehu no. Emura bi a ensem fata se esese eba page ne so. Na omafa nkofo a omututu free so. Ntinye se bi a omunum ni omoye na de omoye no ebebedu se best start league ne be hu se bibia be ye kama nti kasamafo nso so e de anuye kakra nso so etimi e de aba. Aging players must make way for younger ones to play. Dr. Nyaho Tamakru Tama we dey tititia o se brasa ye koye anyi nyina no players ni bebre ho no mo omonyinyini na enei se wo hwe aman na omo bom homoden na omo the young players na ebo ball no enti
amame
bo Morocco krasi
Morocco player nyini wo
100.7
players are young ones
the younger ones na ebo enti dem omo bom de omo ko mo
Morocco players
na ye de bia na ye de osigana fo ye nyai sa football age ade
na ye players na de call bobo no send na nyini wo mu an send na ye nkola wo mu an send it's just like any other team ana asem no kan na ye ntiase
o si on say
na me uza Samiano presenti madarumo we do ayi the assembly obi be kan bi o ze be kan bi ana like the go ana say obi aka asem nti o ze yeso e za be kan assembly o se ke ja no kwan mu and some of them we don't need to give them prominence. That's my fine. If you are talking about the performance of players, let's talk about that. Why any team?
Football age.
Why football age?
No, I said that in so.
Young fire ma, Omo keepers no number 2 no nim no ya wanyini. Lucas and Money one home born Jerome Poku, Omo boy yi nuama yi event saying woman can come woman Hakim dear to the one tell more what kind maximum nominally good. What has a union got to do with Obi more than more?
I said when you want to be more, you can't cheat.
Me say the oldest players all World Cup. I Hakim Omusa. No, not just 7 boots. Maximum just 7. Those who are defending. Oh, and some of them they are not those to do. If you are me, I say also be a can be. We would do a party. A be or car an old problem and Ghana war. By bet mama papa Nyahuta Macron say omo e dom go ball no. Omo do na ya academy boys e training omo abrochiri.
Yeah, ka de wanyini kra de ko no no goalkeeper no.
Oh dear, man, I don't believe in that. Now, we believe goalkeeper, you know him that. But boys from Bobo, don't do no. All the boys from they went through academic system, and where those areas it is very difficult. And they cry Ghana cry age cheating cry. They say above from crash so low because they demand a lot of things or DHS name and everything pro solution on their mind. I think we're not one of the youngest. Everyone I think we're the youngest team. No, so near half we can see VM. Go boy back for send a ball Ghana league. Don't I saw more to table John no Bobo. Mama they are saying and some no doors. I am also count. Some boys with the media a man for him. They are mommy and fan to actually. I'm some boys somewhere. I am one I bidding go for time. And the penyas and the I am say. Zach, what says the minister selection? I also have a German who says one selection. I just say so selection. Don't go between the trees we are way. Or no busa question no answer. Who means how about the players who no more selection? And some for go for the can found when you and your selection. I say so selection. Who selection? Who plays in one of them? How go friends here man mo.
100.7. They will come. And create.
Obeka chese e beji World Cup aye ka chebe se asem o ka no. Sebe mo me mfenye ubeka se bia. So beji World Cup.
On only how they say. Say as in central.
On how.
Jackie too sometime Harry wa mo keke ho. Mo ti se nkofo kasa asem na. Mo no mo asudie ni mo ase de say. Mo be chekere mo chire mo chempen nkofo kro no say. There be minister there on select players. One at this was minister.
Wow,
media main TV.
That's it, Cobra. Come on. Zach, and now you have ball, Kakra fan.
Yes.
Ronaldo, I am at Timson. Our US never joined there. He moved in there. We had to be 4-1. Then, Buffalo 4-1, dear Brennan.
I have 4-1, but. For instance, US
girl almost say first take away if you are on one. Anyway,
Trump not didn't
know. He's leaving the Portugal national team.
About so one go World Cup no so one can say national team.
So it's clear say he's done.
National team be.
No, it's clear say he's done.
But your kind is you know World Cup no.
0.7
to sit with the family, enjoy their holidays, and after that over one time. And so there's no way and you're good for him.
And
we said now Neymar when he also first said
Neymar dear say Neymar dear was a national team no mobile.
We also mobile.
No one can. Muna munimu amobenu na munimu.
They say nuka say bibia wo mre.
Oh Zaka asema obese woman ya asema no play.
Bibia wo mre.
Neymar as announced before match no kra no aka say you will not play for the national team after this World Cup. Chairman here on kind
but onim. And every Portuguese.
Ma who almost say why you be done into Osu?
Every Portuguese knows say this is his last time with the national team. And if you the Portuguese now,
okay, me Portuguese.
Super sports.
Me Portuguese. Ti me ni there's also every Portuguese in anymore. But me Portuguese.
Every Portuguese and the one who follow Ronaldo Bian in the last.
I follow Ronaldo.
I follow the Bian in the.
No man follow Madam Zuzu.
So who TV?
Let them go follow no.
So one of the one of the best games at the Worldcup. The hype around the game because of the quality of the individuals that especially the midfielders now tweets now parade now we are anticipating one good game, end-to-end game, excitement, but I say very boring game. I'm saying one of the boring games that Masha honestly at this World Cup. I say there was no agency, so no my pass and die and tweets me now that start. I should have my anything it was a game there sharing and but the game needed one moment just to decide the game. And once again, the super sub for Spain, Mikel Moreno, came in and delivered the winning goal for Spain. World Cup. So, for Portugal, the three midfielders, I'm sure say was Omukofi, they would agree say they didn't live up to the expectation. And again, apart from so Oman live up to the expectation, one player that I was single-handedly say he was the worst among all of them, Bruno Fernandes, in terms of how in this tournament one born homework then one. For Mumi and Sana, yes, Oman born homework in terms of collectively. What we know of them, Oman, but what actually the Mumi and Sana see also not also the worst among them was Bruno Fernandes.
One pass Ronaldo.
What would there be? The episode of Ronaldo. Ronaldo can walk.
Oh, me was some.
There be but I found me came Ronaldo.
But I haven't seen it as my mama minya and I mean, you see, over Jaji Bruno, I did be judging number 1 or your assistant. And the Ocas one more dear. Number one pass, I must strike no. Because he's known well, so I can say based on how we know them. Say they see me more. Their own standards in Tina Hokas or Mamma. And the first question that will come from anybody is why Najumana Edims or Mayan, which is impossible man or mana and go to go. Why yana? So, but usually you leave your striker to score. And you may also be a Yano, what's the Diana Ronaldo? Also, the question was not mischievous. Let me say, other one, Farmer Ronaldo,
Bruno. Are there only a pa I say or possible ye is one of the best attributes say defense plate passing one no bonnet do not
to result in a goal
and sometimes when you go this tournament so too and minim I know I say they played with us a who be she said they were just off and Bruno to me was one of the worst in that month for that in terms of
Musa Baba Musa also a public we know say exactly Musa said na Ronaldo live up to expectation na Baba Musa so Musa
I know or jump with the guy
Musa
the analysis on me different baby na masa actually must start
so Musa was
you know and kebeba after come on we see na man there
was all they come
so it's honestly these guys do not help the national team say I've heard about a generation golden generation and Martinez I said 2 generations Portugal team baby I know strength wo pa about omo ni mo na baby I know strength wo pa was am for omo ko World Cup yimu one area na obetimi dem compare any national team if you are not better than you are not better than them but other areas in there at least obia national team there will be another almost but one area no man want your power jam for it na ohona na gidi wo say these guys will live out the expectation but honestly omambo momode and the worst among them me Bruno Fernandes and I think say onwa hwe the games na obegja to me say wa moa Portugal national team because they nim say onim ye no want me amfa moa oman no me say to omo games na omo boy no me pese you see I know say one of no ana again Ronaldo slows their game Ronaldo make runs and onye ye bon mame the pictures na me de ma wono na yemfa nka se misisi a na yenhwe one of the first one no ye a lot of times people take off then born unko entina be briefi se mofo des na amwa there was an instance to this on your screen me need a player I'm saying Johannes if your striker is making this kind of runs no one bobo na ntuma I'm so too who yes as a striker na nse go I'm so too me pa cho wo there on your screen sa boy so striker make some run we are so to the end say we don't know some kwami so so bi misra wa da roma so striker make some run we are then say we so too
we say ne run ni an so bobo mom
ya fe dey say that
o da du ba bia o betumi asoma ama obi agru ko who say be offside o say ball na say me be ni ya say striker na offside
no I say we don't want say no we dey fa no point we say run no starting from somewhere o delay ya man okopie on no so this ball you play it through a through ball oko 1-0 that was one of us. There's another one in the first half ball enfa no so nto I think that was Bruno Fernandes there be no way go no Bruno Fernandes cross any so you have your in the world of football there's no player in the 18 box or a leader I say about the Cristiano Ronaldo and he is
the leader
David
the whole world
In the world of football,
there's nobody in the box already we leader
that is LETHAL
leader like okay like someone say our proof who said
at this stage to only Kubasi and rapport point no hwebo we o die this kind of balls it will different mboko share but ball we one more or dani ball na ma ball no ko wie o center back no they recycle the ball and the ball went to center back eti there were so many instances striker no make good runs ball na anko and again so too honestly coach no dey omunya pa mo no
wajai mo jai
no the no ka so also manager you so he said you have to sack him I mean why Ronaldo lasted 90 minutes in the game honestly mean why say Omar Ronaldo lasted 90 minutes
right,
because the player that scored the winning goal for you in the round 32 no one even 1 minute to play in yesterday's game and Bernardo Silva meaning say I don't know as there's something wrong with him I say like psychologically that's when you fit and I say something like that because one the goal that we conceded Merino on the foul Merino or Merino has to be then he left him to go and go share there was a lot of things about this but one thing that we can take away from this man on your screen and it's the greatest footballer the world have ever seen. Omar friend Portugal before him no Marco only 3 World Cups in 1966, 86 and 2002. Ononko abaya no Marco 6 continuous World Cup. Before Ronaldo, na Portugal abo only 3 European Championship in 11 edition 1984, 1996 and 2000. Obaye Odomabo 9 and Atwaso. Eti Oshe or my friend Portugal. Without this man, they don't have any history. They've never won any silverware without this man. This man and the Baya Wabajin Krua. Ejamo or my friend Portugal. Or my friend Portugal, a football nation because of this greatest footballer the world has ever seen. And yes, he's going home. One Worldcup. I've seen a lot of people. Me, I've heard of social culture to Facebook. It's a smart part. Use the word dimension. To me, so I interview I say winning the European Championship, you know. And yeah, to him, as this as the Worldcup, as a Worldcup, you know. The word dimension you use here, you know. If you find a meaning now. But say why he used that, you know.
That. But the offering and everything. See, you don't go finding it.
Oh, say, Kumasha de English.
Don't know some that good day. So the time no more to who free chemistry. Yeah, I'm finding dimension and cat. Oh, finding now a digital man casa.
Oh, say, dimension can mean magnitude or something.
100.
You.
Until minor
on the wings of dimension.
European Championship for them, no official to him.
Ronaldo only Portugal the day, then the day.
Oh, what it 1 Euros and 2 Nations League and
Nations League, you know.
But what European Championship?
Okay.
So my Portugal no money crew a bit down.
Then Nations Champions with them high.
But as an Euros or
Euros in Quan level.
and to Munji be that.
But say you save your music World Cup and now I'm going. Okay. No, God.
And so
You into Anna. You one side do impet infinity, yeah, and the balance baby.
I didn't.
Ah, sure, more sure.
oh that business.
And now we're doing.
Oh that
Do
yeah work up to
Spain and Portugal game and Baswa became Marino. The only goal of the game. I might say Spain are qualified to the quarterfinal of the World Cup. And you be doing Komo Kakrebi. Yen Chebibri or Yen Chebibri. The two is why Spain team near par this World Cup. And even Spain at the European Championship. And then nipa mejina no super coach ne friends Roberto Martinez no because have Belgium against Senegal and now have Belgium against US. Okay, this is how Spain almost set up. Spain a ball playing team and say De La Fuente selecting the players player be your best select who can the first 11 will be which included the goalkeeper Simon so to eso na anoka se ball ne da wona ano a nya se wo pre wo ho ansa no pass ball no ese wo ye comfortable with the ball we ne nyoma ne bi a kasipe wo ma wo gina so a wo de selecting the players to bo se be a player bi onya good season in the La Liga. Now I'm fan. Now I'm for starting raising issues on player now I'm fan no. But what Nasi Dean now head De La Fuente be Spanish national team coach. Sa no picking the players. It's Spain ball no almost start to build up from the back, especially using their 2 center backs to find passing lanes. Kubasi and Emerick Laporte. So when Spain be ball na be mo border uni an attack. And now a center for the bet me a press Roma. Laporte and the Kubasi or holiday. Laporte and the Kubasi or holiday. Say no, I didn't work and they say, me sorry, Bema Boda messages. We are about you hate Cristiano Ronaldo. Hey, na me de made my hate Cristiano Ronaldo. As a West near Fanokwa. Hate. Hey, hate the anodium. You don't play against Spain. And you need somebody to press their center back, and you go with Cristiano Ronaldo. It will not work. enyiye no kure wo mu no on say to enyoma mienu ni ejina so amount for money ya say people doesn't respect the legacy of Cristiano Ronaldo, which is not true. But you can Ronaldo at 41. As I know in his 20s and 30s only. It's how even the Portuguese team was set up. It was set up in such a way say omo ye ma Spain for ninya freedom. It's why we game ni biano. Wo de busa ho se wutie ma no pa ya busa ho say at what point and I won't say the Spanish defense will be press womo almost start to build up from the back. The moment Obama Spain center backs na ye free no. So to a chess work creating room for their midfielders. Their midfield three no mo boy Dani Olmo, Pedri, Rodri. Enye up to almost standard to say the any no. But so to look at how they were interchanging positions. Because their center backs were free. Eti enra semeye Roberto Martinez ko he Belgium ne Senegal. So to know he Belgium and USA. Sometimes it's not about individual player, but a team ninya resource. Nobody can take away the greatness of Cristiano Ronaldo. No. But the truth of the matter is, or minus to the Portuguese team. No kure wasem no. On said the amount for who say, we are now for stretchy debate no. So Ronaldo to say mobile phone any chip. Se me phone ye kura me. Ya boda ya mfa chip anto so a. Mint me fan ye call. So what the mention say. But your other players are remember boda. Rather no other players feed on them. It's when services are not given to Cristiano Ronaldo because was center in the game no say or your goal scorer. It's your man service and it was a real tournament no. It's what is like to Odi Bruno Fernandes. Or is a Bruno Fernandes anyade. Vitinha anyade Neves anyade. Because of you say Oman Timian provided a service to Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo are changing the game to become a typical goal scorer. But your other players, and the Biana make say, remember you can have a player that you love, and Obian Timino any watching it. Say me do player be me. The Biana Kajo say since I'm starting to show football. So Tony my favorite footballer. Two. I said they be Obi Manuel Ricosta and Zidane. But I cannot say based on how I love them. They are the greatest of the game. One can compete. Say Biati says Zidane. But I know so be here China. You have to accept it. It's Portugal team no almost set up to fail at this tournament. And found one talent and no more. It's almost the game no coach Spain. And no Spain can no almost A level. This is not the Spainer recently. It's one of their worst performances. Even at this Worldcup, I'm so formally Cape game now. We net was. But it was a Portuguese team. Remember as I'm saying. Wako tournament. Wabo modern free group stage. Wabo around 32. Then you have a 25-year-old Goncalo Ramos. Ebe share winning goal the amount. Then your next stage run 16. Player no be share go now qualified to run 16 no. Who opportunity to make 5 changes. The same number of changes are we air will run 32 no. The same number now will run 16. And that player tournament momentum air fan no. When you a single minute. How do you even explain this to Portuguese? Eti Bema said the maker no.
Suno hadin ana nyawe.
Oh, no dear, onse Ronaldo no nsem keka no. E no no ano, ene na ekontokwa wo. Ni tibua na ebu na for. Because Zakito so dimension. How do you even compare European Cup to World Cup? And as na mo can say, e dey contest. bibi o ha enye contest bibi nye contest zakito
no bibi so kana
bibi nye contest mizoto bibi anywhere ye
contest
enye contest on vet can on can event is vet no mizoto how do you convince nipa da seni o te asasi so a mizoto ohun etie eti bibia say vet e better car than Rolls Royce. How do you do this? And yet the other bedroom
is today.
Maybe our home didn't do
yes, and to me
it doesn't make it more than there be. That is what
argument.
No, that is it.
More other fun.
That is and then I can afford Highlander.
Oh, what else? Also, there you can't afford.
I can afford it.
Also, you can't afford.
What I can afford.
It's what I accept to say. So
that is what I value.
It's what I accept to say.
That's the person speaking. Not all can.
But I mean, I make a sound. And I am a more flow. Yamina more flow.
But so good.
What Musanavi? What I accept to say. I didn't want to mean because you cannot afford.
Yeah.
It's the moment to accept.
If you are coming to me for there.
Coming to me for that county.
No, million do one. I put here as now. Then you have made content by money say not all can or no influence the man of Portugal. The legacy.
You can speak about your legacy with the Portuguese national team. But Zakito, let's be fair to ourselves. Say Ghana yeti ayenye Worldcup. Yes, I Cup of Nation 4. Na Cup of Nation na yaji ni equal to Worldcup. Who will be back? So they just imagine say.
We know the dimension.
Who they just imagine say. Say Zakito enye Ronaldo. And a minister yeko anak urake to kreku. Yeko Worldcup iba no so Ghana for mamunsu. Na Worldcup ni ko duru 32 no. Enye hwe because yaji Cup of Nation 4. Cup of Nation 4 na yaji no. Any Worldcup yepe. Won ka be penama no. Kabe penama no. And the fact of the matter is Mizoto. Ayana on say Mama ne yese Ronaldo no ba he changed the Portuguese national team. Tournament ben Ronaldo and the Portugal ko best player da. Mizoto give me one. Yeah, but who is the most influential player must be the best player of the team. And Abema boda meboa. So who is the most influential player must be the best player of the team and even the best player of the tournament. When Portugal won the European Championship, he was not even the best player. The final game that they won, where was Ronaldo? The last nations, Mabono, the recently Mushe Spain. And about who win some Mushe crucial. Eh, Bernardo Silva, Nuno Mendes.
Why I take a money to? Oh, Jimmy, sometimes why?
That you to see about tournament. Also, where was he? About tournaments.
No one I take a money to.
Yeah, about tournaments. Yeah, out of the tournament. Yeah, about tournaments in area. Yes, say. Yeah, about tournaments. Yes, best player. It means the influence on the tournament. You cannot compare any player to him. And I was sweating this over here. Say, yeah, about tournament. Yes, this is the best player. He just on say I never talk about him say he tried to belittle what other players have achieved. So let me say or belittle the other players have achieved. Because Mr. Cho meba
Bacho nyesa ne no why so
my member was Bacho. This is a tournament way back Bema Boda way back 2016 when the Portuguese national team edge the European Championship, Ronaldo say, before you can be counted among the greats, you have to win with your national team. Within that same period, oh, asama me.
Bazakada na o ma nipa no bafo. Obi ka say we anan ko biaba. Obi ka say we anan ko aba.
No, but
e atoto. They say boy ba yo. Where you ba o where you. O sparring partner na ba. But ye.
Ono na downplay the level of competition. And no, anyame na me downplay no. Ono Ronaldo no, and downplay competitions that went me because which human being on this planet and ebe compare European Cup to World Cup.
One compare. He didn't compare.
Because to one better. You here last year, only PS Morgan, and Ronaldo was telling us 7 games now Kudokoje Kappa. You cannot call that 7 games so you're a great player. But this same World Cup now we don't play no. 2016. You see, after winning the European Cup, no, what do you want to achieve? A World Cup because it's the biggest trophy in the world. And Ronaldo, when he was leading a Golden Boot award, so that time I know was a 3 was a 4, now Messi was 2. That Ballon d'Or Messi had 5 more had 4. Or say winning the Golden Boot of Aluniche Ballon d'Or, and China Messi co says no car 4. And Joe and Oko says no car 4. Oko 8 who don't play Ballon d'Or. Eti ono and I'm to awards now wajino ono akwa don't play no. Because the fact of the matter is, upon how great are we as a footballer, the greatest football trophy on this planet is World Cup. And nobody can change it. You need trophy be a was as so as such a World Cup. 2 matches so, 3 matches so. World Cup is the biggest trophy on this planet. So one Libya, celebrate your legacy. What do you have achieved? But don't downplay other players or magistrate trophy no. Whereby every single moment I been be another someone. And then I'm person me catch Zaki to say no Ronaldo no kra work Zaki tournaments na work so wajo say I no. Meaning on Ronaldo. Tournaments na Portugal no. Waje no. Emudu do say no Ronaldo so mojo on your best player.
He doesn't need to be the best player.
You need to.
But the Portuguese team was the best player of the Portuguese team. He doesn't need to be the best player of the tournament.
Portuguese team.
Yes,
last year,
at age 40, he was still Portugal's best player. At age 40,
yeah, boy, we have seen no Mendes. Last one, almost Croatian. Yes, Bernardo Silva. And I'm a boy. Last year, almost Croatian. Bernardo Silva, the man,
okay. Or influence. I come close.
Close to Ronaldo.
Since when?
I can't tell you.
Since I woke up the film. But sometimes you know, say for nothing from 2016, and he has been the main man.
Ronaldo,
what are you talking about?
Yes, what do you